Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Jackrabbits Club Hockey here on YouTube. Hopefully this weekend will be a heck of a lot easier than last weekend was. That was kind of a crapshoot, at least last home games we had. Anyway, a couple things coming into tonight. The Jacks are 11-6 coming into this game. Waldorf is, I'm not for sure. So, last game we had at home, we split at Augie. We lost the first game 4-3. And the second game on Saturday afternoon, we won. Had goals by about everybody and kept Augie off the score sheet. So, tonight, the starting lineup for the Jackrabbits is going to be brought to you by Hometown Tire and Service, your hometown choice for trusted quality auto care. On our first line, we've got Owen Schneider, Dawson Worth, and Trent Atkinson. Second line, we've got Sean, Jacob Colley, and Max Moore. Third line, we got Riley Lindstadt, Zach Struck, and Gavin Stone. Fourth line, we've got Ethan Bush, Jack Merritt, and Garrett Everson. On defense, we've got Cooper Vanderbeek and Bobby Brink on the first line. Second pair is Preston Carelitz and Thomas Rogers. Sorry about that. Fourth line, we've got Jack Siebert and John. Once I see them on the ice and get their numbers, the game card I was given was written in nicknames, so I also didn't get the goaltender, but I would have to imagine, due to Friday night being Addison Roning's net, I would venture a guess that he is going to be starting in net for us here tonight. As for Waldorf, I'm not entirely sure who's starting for them or what their story is. Jacks have struggled lately on the special teams. They went 3 for 4 on the penalty kill last home game on Friday, and then they were 0 for 2 also. So on the weekend they were a combined 0 for 5 in the PP. Penalty kill was a lot better. They were 7 for 8. So obviously special teams, at least on the kill, are significantly better than on the power play. So they actually had a 4-game road trip through the last couple of weekends. They got swept by Minnesota Crookston, and then last weekend they were up in the cities playing St. Thomas. They ended up knocking them off on Friday, however, which was a big upset win as St. Thomas was ranked. And then, unfortunately, Saturday they could not get the job done. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not, the postponed games from NDSU from early in January have actually gotten moved. It's not going to be a split series on February February 11th. We're actually going to be playing here in the Larson at 7:30 p.m. And then Saturday they play up in Fargo at 8 p.m. So the games just got moved, or from being postponed to actually getting played. So don't have any plans for Valentine's Day, make the trip up to Fargo. Go take your gal or man up to, I don't really know what there is to do there. They've got a Topgolf look-alike. Looks like your starting netminder for Waldorf is number 29. Let's see here. Funny enough, the first thing you look up when you look up Waldorf Club, the first thing that pops up is the Anime Club. So that tells you what kind of operation they run down there in Waldorf. I guess. Oh, hey, here we go. I actually do have Waldorf's lineup. So, Waldorf's lineup, this is actually super clutch. Mad respect. I haven't gotten this for any of the other ones. So for Waldorf, their first line is Grayson White, Parker Anthony, and Steven Populus. Their second line is Blake Radis, Ethan Vincent Hunt. Third line, Tony Romani, Connor Eklund, and Zach Lloyd. Extras, or fourth line, Public Strangers, you got Jalen Park, Jackson Park, and Paul Cole. On defense, they've got Casey Hook and John Riceroy, Keith Rasmussen, and Ethan Lloyd. Extra D-man is going to be Martin Tupper. Starting in net is going to be Zane Redfin. It looks like coming out to start for the Jackrabbits is actually going to be number 40, Egan Jensen. This is Jensen's first start on the year. We haven't seen him yet. So it could be kind of interesting. I'm sure it'll be just fine. So starting lineup for Waldorf is actually going to looks like it's going to be so Casey Hunt and John Vickroy are going to be their starting D. It looks like they're going to start their second line for forwards for Blake Radis, Ethan Villanueva, and Vincent Hunt. The starters for the Jackrabbits are looks like Preston Karolitz and Thomas Rogers. There we go. I don't know why it's frozen. Looks like starting. And for our forwards, we've got
goalie tonight for the Warriors, number 29, Zane Redford. And now tonight's starting lineup for the Jackrabbits is brought to you by Hometown Service.
Looks like they got
Hometown Choice.
we got Jacob Colley. We're going to start our second line as well. We're going to have Jacob Colley, Max Moore,
at one defenseman, and number 18, Preston Karolitz.
Zach Merritt.
His running lead in the blue line, number 4, Thomas Rogers. At one wing, number 27, Riley.
Looks like it'll be Lindstad, Jacob Colley, and
the other wing, number 24, Max Moore.
Oh my goodness. I'd like to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, Hometown Tire and Service, your hometown choice for choice of quality auto care. Rouse Construction, building strong foundations on and off the ice. Henner Plumbing, fast reliable service when things get backed up. And Handyman's Home Services, anything you need with driving your home goods. And Wooden Leg for sponsoring the Rear Garden and helping us out with all of our other stuff we have going on. Alrighty, that was the national anthem. Now let's play hockey. Alrighty. And College gets the face off here. Carol's going to throw up the ice right onto the stick of Moore. Jacks have it in their offensive zone. Loose puck. Lindstedt, quick shot, and it's going to get gloved by Redfern. Jacks quick on the offensive draw. Offensive attack here. 20 seconds into the game. Going to be a face-off in the right dot. Looks like it'll be Jacks with the face-off. So, looks like Waldorf probably lost a stick. And here comes Waldorf back the other way. Bounces off the back wall. Here's Lindstedt. Puck's trapped along the boards. And there's Everson. Comes away with it. Over to Everson. Number 28. That must be Sean. Excuse me, that's John. Alrighty. Jack's had it off the zone. It finally gets not pushed out by Waldorf. Siebert has it, flips it up. Tried to get it onside for Lindstedt. Oh, here's Colley. Quick shot. Blocked by number 20 for Waldorf. Jacks still have it. Up, and they turn back over. Waldorf picks up the neutral zone. It's picked up by Siebert. And they're going to call that a hand pass. $18:28 here to go in this first period of play. It'll be Colley, Moore, and Lindstedt against Anthony, Megapolis, or White. And here come the Jacks. Nope, guess not. On the forecheck, thought they had it topped up, but here comes. Here's Lindstedt. Going to cross into the offensive zone. Bring it around. Up to Brink. Quick shot. Blocked away by Redfern. Another shot. Misses wide of the net. And that puck's going to make it all the way back out into the neutral zone. Brink to land over weak. And there's a whistle. The net got pushed off the pegs. So that'll do it. So we're going to get a whistle here. And it'll be a neutral zone face-off here. Like Vega's out there tonight too. Oh, Sean Vega. That's he played last game against Augustine at home. I just wrote it down and completely on the original roster sheet I have. He's not listed. So there's an icing on the play.
Guys, is brought to you by Heating and Home Services, your trusted partner for all your home repairs and renovations.
So we've got Struck out there with Riley Lindstedt. Yeah, Stone. Face off. Won by Waldorf. Shot. This is wide. Rada is trying to make a pass for Musa Mig. Got picked off by the Jets. Waldorf had to retreat back into their own zone. Turns it over to Everson. Everson tried to drop it off for Merritt. Couldn't connect. And Radis is going to send it in for Waldorf. Everson kind of drops it off there for Stone. And it's going to make it all the way out to the neutral zone. Here comes Merritt. Walks into the offensive zone. He's knocked off the puck. First person to it though is Stone. Walks behind the cage. Flips it back to Merritt. Up to Rogers. Back to Merritt. Couple quick shots down the front. Blocked by Redfern. Here's Stone. Back to Bush. And he's going to send that net or puck behind the cage. And couldn't get there to it. Number 9 for Waldorf turns back over to Merritt, but no Jacks were there to recover it. Opportunity for icing, but gets waved off because number 15 for Waldorf got to it first. Tried to make a quick pass out in front for number 14, Jackson Park, but couldn't connect. Puck gets scored out to the neutral zone, and Waldorf's going to send it in. Rogers going to pick it up behind his net. Schneider tried to flip it up for Rock. It's Worth gets behind the net, flips it up, quick shot. Blocked by Waldorf. Rogers is going to throw it back in. Seafood, excuse me, is going to send it back in. Jack's able to keep it in for a quick second, but Waldorf gets it out to the neutral zone. John gets it ahead. Here's Anfinson. Back to Sievert. Back to Anfinson. Battle. Puck gets loose. And John's going to keep it in. Tried to make a shot towards the net. Fanned on it. Able to kind of get another pass off, but right into the skates at number 20 for Waldorf. And it is Keaton Rasmussen. And we're having a whistle.
Jack Rabbit Hockey would like to thank the following sponsors for their commitments: Rounds Construction, Hometown Service Tire, Care Plumbing, Handyman Home Services, The Code.
We'll bring out the second line for the Jackrabbits, along with the first line for Waldorf. And face off won by Lindstedt, or by Waldorf, excuse me. Rasmussen for Waldorf gets it out. Jacks have to retreat. Brink's going to pick it up from his own end. Gets it over to Cooper Vanderbeek. Back to Brink. Skates around the defender. Tried to make a pass. Went off the skates of Jacob Colley. Brink flips it back to Cooper Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek. It's going to bounce it off the wall. It's going to score it all the way down, and that'll be an icing. Jackrabbits can't quite get the change, so going to have a defensive zone draw here for the Jacks. Parker Anthony took the face off, wins it for Waldorf. Quick shot right off the draw, saved by Jensen. And here comes Moore. Left the way, he's kicking it ahead. Here gets all the way to the corner where it's sent from Anderson back to Colley. Colley couldn't hang on to it though. And here comes Waldorf. Splits it out to the neutral zone where Darren Everson's there to pick it up. Rogers takes behind his net, quickly flips it up to Strzok. Brings it into the offensive zone, skids around a couple of defenders. Quick shot, saved by Redfern. Probably one of the most high danger shots that Redfern's seen tonight. Gonna be an offensive zone face-off here for the Jacks. Strzok takes the face-off here against 23. Mason Wave. Puck still kind of battling along the right wing boards. Flips it back across and around. Jacks keep it in for a little bit, and Waldorf finally gets possession and they get it out. Here's Tracy White battling with Rogers. And here the Jacks come back the other way. Here's Wega. Sean Wega skates into the offensive zone, lost it for a second, got knocked off his stick, had it, and lost it again. And it's going to get flipped up to Stephen Moxopoulos. Loose puck opportunity, quick shot off the skate. And Jack down in front. And Stone's going to walk it in, quick shot off the top glass. Hit again with stick of Redfern. John keeps it in for the Jacks. Merritt tried to keep it in. Oh, gets it to Jordan Siegel's hand. Shot misses wide of the net. Kicked in by John. Here's Merritt. Tries to get it up. Here's Bush. Back to John. And he goes offside. So the Jacks going to send it in. Waldorf is going to go for a change here. They didn't quite have that opportunity. Here's Rogers. Gets knocked down. Receiver, excuse me, gets knocked down. It's turn one. Pass gets blocked into the netting. Maybe a face-off on the right dot. Maybe Lindstadt, Colley, and Moore. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Moore. For the Jackson forward. Here's Brink. Alright, takes it behind his net. Heavily pursued by number 18 of Waldorf. And Vanderbilt gets it up to Lindstadt. Over to Moore. Morris gets it in the offensive zone. Quick shot. Blocked by Redfern. And that puck's going to make it all the way back out into the neutral zone. Jacks have to retreat, take it back in. Brink's going to start behind his own net, skate it up. Quick pass up to Moore. And a quick shot sticked out by Redfern, and that's going to go out of play. Dawson Worth on the face-off here. Worth loses the face-off to Waldorf. Schneider about had it in the corner, couldn't come away with it. Number 11 for Waldorf. Park Anthony had it up, turned it over. Here's Schneider. Gets off the get mogged by a Waldorf player, but eventually it's a 2-on-1. Back the other way, a quick shot by Blake Bradez, saved by Jensen. Loved it and lost it, so there's an opportunity there for a rebound for Waldorf, but luckily no harm was done. And there's going to be a whistle for a hand pass. $10:59 here to go in this first period of action. Score is currently 0-0. Worth to take the face off here against Anthony. Quick shot by Tupper is blocked out in front by a couple of Jacks and Waldorf guys. Puck through the middle. First person to it is Owen Schneider. Bounces it off the wall for Cooper Van Everbeek. Hooks along the boards. Turns it over. Tried to get a cross-crease pass over the middle to Blake Radez, but couldn't make the connection. And here's Van Everbeek. Tried to make a pass up to Dawson Worth. Bounces through a couple of players, finally ends up on a stick, drives it in, takes behind the Waldorf net, sharp angle, attempted for Anfinson, couldn't quite get it. Kept in by Stone, or Rogers, excuse me, but shot gets blocked. Here's Owen Schneider. Through the middle, didn't quite get a piece of it. Here's Anfinson, skates through right circle, looking for anything. Looking, left circle. Strictly from the slot, misses wide of the net. Worth, first person to it, gets it back out to Anfinson. Pass backwards to Carroll's quick shot, misses wide. Might have gotten blocked by a Waldorf player. And there's Jacks have to tag up. Puck got offsides. And that might start the rush for Waldorf. Here's 26. It looks like it's going to go for a dump and chase here. Struck behind his own net and gets it up to Karelitz. Back to Strzok. He's going to skate it in, crosses center ice, brings it in, still skating around, getting heavily pursued by two Waldorf players. So Waldorf is going to keep on doing that. There should be an opportunity for a wide open player, hopefully in the middle somewhere. Strzok, the right wing corner, board battle with a couple of Waldorf players. Quick shot by Rogers, blocked out. We're around the boards. Here's Strzok. Over Rogers again. Another shot blocked by number 23, Ethan Mason. Shot missed wide, and they're going to cover. Face off here. won by the Jacks. Receiver moves it ahead. Here's more battle of a couple of Waldorf, a couple of Jacks. Here's Stone. And puck sits right on the edge there. And here Waldorf's going to try for the breakout. Gets the puck ahead to number 22. Trace White, and they're going to send it in around. Egan Jensen's going to move behind his own net. Fortunately, first person that the pass picked up by is a Waldorf player. Here comes Stone. Tries to make the pass, bounces up, knocks free. Here's number 7, Steven. Shot loose out in front. Egan Jensen made both of those saves, but he got a little bit further out of the net than I think most people would have preferred. And Jacks finally get the puck out to lose center ice. Martin Tupper sends it in, and that'll be an icing. Just quite wasn't past center ice. It'll be Lindstedt, Moore, and Colley with Brink and Van Overbeek. Kind of a scrum out front between Van Overbeek keeps it in for the Jacks. Moore tried to make a pass, but just completely fanned on it. Here's board battle here between Lindstedt and Waldorf. Here's Moore, had it, got it poked off his stick. And number 14 is going to send it out to the roof of Jackie Park. And Van Overbeek has it. Quick shot. Or, I guess not a shot. Moore had an opportunity right in the slot. And he pulls it right off of number 14, Jackson Park. Unfortunately, turned it right back over to him. He's number 12 going to walk it in. He's going to ring around the boards. Sitting behind the net. And Colley going to chop it backwards to himself. Skates behind the net. Falls down. But Brink, luckily with the puck, gets it to Lindstedt. Enters the offensive zone. Quick shot, sticked out, and into the netting. You know, if I didn't know any better, I would just kind of think he's trying to stick it up into the netting, but obviously, I don't think he is. It's one of those things that just happens. It'll be Worth, Anfinson, and Schneider, excuse me, on the forward pair. Jacks have it in their own end. Here's Worth. Moves it just ahead enough for Owen Schneider to get it out to Karolitz. Back to Schneider. Skates behind the Waldorf net. Gets it back to Anfinson. Pass out front, right there for Worth. Tried to get the shot, went right onto the pad of Redfern. What an opportunity there for the Jackrabbits. Just couldn't quite get her home. Here comes Waldorf back the other way. Oh, turn it right back over, right by the blue line. Here's Worth. Brings it in. Quick pass in the middle, right onto the stick of Anfinson. Just tried. Redfern made another great save. Worth to Rogers. Back to Karolitz. Anfinson. What a reverse hit by Trent Anfinson. Just laid the kid out. Pass backward. Here's Worth. Has it. Gets it over to Rogers. Shot. Gloved by Redfern. That was one heck of a reverse hit by Anfinson. He just, poor guy skated right into him, right into his shoulder practically. Golly. Face off here, one. Puck went into the glass. Finally gets pushed free. Here's Struck. Had it, lost it. Kept in by Brink. Or, excuse me, that's Sievert. Gets over Struck. Tried to make a pass, but it's bounced up. What a shot by Zach Struck on Tony Romani. And there's a pass to go off the glass, and it's going to go all the way down to the goal line, but they're going to wave off the icing. Here's John. And tried to stick a Struck, but he coughed it up. And here's Everson. Quick shot. Sticked away by Jensen. Number 23, Mason Villeneuve tried to lay the bod, just was didn't really quite get a good contact with him. And Keaton Rasmussen's going to set it in, and that'll be an icing. .453 here to go in this first period. Score is currently 0-0. Jacks are out shooting Waldorf 14-7. Merritt takes the face-off here. Face-off won by Merritt. He gets it. Here's Bush. Through number 5's legs. Tried to make a quick shot. Fanned on it, but luckily just the defender out in front missed it. If he would have gotten a stick on the second opportunity there, he might have had an opportunity to drive it home. Vanderbeek whips it in. Here's Merritt. Bounced along the boards, picked up by Bush. Bush has it. Sends it back around behind the net. Fortunately, the first person to it is going to be Ethan Boyd for Waldorf. And turns it back over just at the zone blue line. So here's Stone. Flips it in just in time as Ethan Bush might have been a hair off sides. But no call. So Jacks turn it over. Here's Stephen Masagopoulos. Quick shot from like the red line, just right at Jensen, kicked it away. And here's Connor Eklund for Waldorf. Moore gets it up for Colley. Brings him, Jacks have to tag up real quick. Moore's going to stick it at Redfern, and there's going to be a cover. Moore, Lindstedt, and Colley to face off against Eklund, Lloyd, and Romani. Oh, excuse me, wrong line. Here's White with it for Waldorf. Flicks up ahead. Martin Tupper thought it was going to be there for him, but it was not. Jack sent it back in. Waldorf turns over on their own end. Just drew the Jack forecheck. However, was not a long lasting. Here's Harris. Brings it in. Tries to make a quick pass out in front. Goes stick off the Jack from Colley. And there's a whistle. Oh, for the net being off. Off, and here's Waldorf come back the other way. We're going to get brought into the offensive zone by Worth. Looking, drops off a Schneider, quick shot right into the glove of Redfern. Redfern's having himself one heck of a game. Hasn't given up much. Going to be another offensive zone draw here for the Jacks, and Dawson Worth. He will be taking the face-off against Parker Anthony. Anthony wins the face-off again for Waldorf. And Waldorf had an opportunity to clear, kept in by Anthony. And Keaton Rasmussen moves around the boards, turns it right back over to number 80, Owen Schneider, up to Sievert. Quick shot by number 28, Jack John, and that's going to get another glove by Waldorf. Another offensive zone face-off here for the Jackrabbits. Wins that one. And here's Worth over to Schneider, and that's going to be a puck up. Oh, you end up right in the left wing board. Going to make it all the way out to the neutral zone, and Sievert's going to send it back in right on net, and Redford's going to play it. Keaton Rasmussen's going to flip it up to the neutral zone for Waldorf. It's picked up by David Brink. Jacks have it. Here's Worth. Skating up the ice. Drives it in. Quick shot. Sticked away by Redfern. Another quick shot. Loose out in front, and they score! Garrett Everson with the goal. Puck kept bouncing all over the place and just loose out in front. Redford lost it for a second, and Everson was right there to drive it home. Looks like it'll be Everson assisted by Anfinson and Brink. Waldorf wins the face-off. Van Orbeek went for the big old hit right there. Just didn't quite hit him. And here's Everson again. Walks it through. And looks like Waldorf's going to get to clear all the way down to the other end, but that'll be an icing. Offensive zone draw here for the Jacks. Jacks currently out shooting Waldorf 19-8. Through the first period. And Struck takes the face off here, wins the face off here. Here's Van Orbeek. Gets it up to Wigga. Unfortunately, didn't quite have a hang of it. And Waldorf's going to get it out to neutral zone. Brink's going to just whip it right back in. Here's Van Orbeek, bounces it off the board, and Waldorf's going to start taking it away. Jackson Park had it lost to Waldorf.
Assisted by number 25, Austin Worth, and number 16, Trent Anderson. That's Everson. From Worth.
Jack skated behind the net. Looks like Struck was about grabbed by the ref. Everybody stopped for a second, like they didn't understand what was going on. But still 30 seconds to go. The clock did not stop. And there's a whistle for the net being off again. Goodness gracious. I think the Stripes need to probably get that into the net a little bit more. So, I was wrong. The Everson goal was assisted by Worth and Anfinson. So, Worth got the primary assist, Anfinson got the secondary assist, and David Brink didn't record any points. Quick shot goes high over the top of the net. Kept in by Karelitz. And looks like number 12 for Waldorf is going to get it out. That would be Connor Eklund. Jack tried to bring it back in for one more rush opportunity. However, puck is just going to kind of get free out here. Quick shot by Eklund. And that's going to be the period. After one, Jacks currently lead 1-0. They're out shooting Waldorf 19-8 in terms of shots. There was no power plays, or there was no special teams. So obviously playing a clean first half, first period.
There will also be a silent auction for a select amount of game-worn jerseys as well. Again, Wednesday, February 11th, 7:30 here at the First Bank and Trust Arena.
So they're going to have a silent auction here on the 11th for some Jackrabbit equipment by the squad. Hopefully, fundraising effort.
Jackrabbit Hockey would like to thank
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Hometown Tire and Service, your hometown choice for trusted quality auto care. For any of your tire needs, give them a call at 605-697-6889. Rounds Construction, building strong foundations on and off the ice. Give them a call for any construction needs you might have at 605-693-4000. Kenner Plumbing, for a fast, reliable service when things get backed up, give them a call at 605-692-6503. Now, a quick plug for Kenner Plumbing. I think it's kind of about time that Waldorf might need to give him a call. I mean, they seem to be backed up in their own end for a lot of that first period, so maybe they got to give him a call. Of course, I'd prefer if they didn't, because we know what kind of good service Kenner's got for us. Hey, Matt's Home Services at 605-690-6194 for any just various handyman needs. And the Wooden Leg for their sponsorship of Jackrabbit Hockey, as well as giving us a hand with the beer garden here tonight. We couldn't do it without the help of all of our wonderful sponsors. Without them, we would not be able to put on this event and be out here for you. We're going to have a quick intermission here, and we'll be back to start the second in about 14 minutes. Alrighty, and we're back. First period got underway. Jacks currently lead 1-0. They're out shooting Waldorf 19-8. First goal of the game was scored by Garrett Everson, assisted by Dawson Worth and Trent Anfinson. That was in the latter half of the period, around 3 or 4 minutes to go. So that was the only goal scored of the game. There were no penalties, and Jacks had no penalty kill. The Waldorf didn't seem to have a whole lot of opportunity to have much offense in their own offensive zone, so they were kind of just stuck there. Hopefully, the Jacks can keep that momentum moving forward. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors here tonight, Hometown Tire and Service, your hometown choice for trusted quality auto care. Give them a call at 605-697-6889 for any tire needs. Kenner Plumbing for fast, reliable service when things get backed up. Give them a call at 605-692-6503. Handyman's Home Services for any home needs you might have. Any handyman home needs at 605-690-6194. And the Wooden Leg for all their support of Jackrabbit Hockey. Without them, we wouldn't be able to have our beer garden tonight, or just post these events here on YouTube. So, a couple things to note about the second period. Second period is oftentimes called a long change just due to the fact that the benches are on the opposite end. So, if you're a team in your own offensive zone, it's easy to get fresh bodies on the ice. But if you're on the defending team, it's going to be a lot longer change. You got to go essentially 2/3 of the length of the ice just to get a change, as opposed to just that one quarter or 1/3 on the offensive side. So, if the Jacks are able to get the job done and keep them shoved back into their own zone or own end, they can really keep them moving, or they can really put that pressure on and get some more goals driving home. Alrighty, and here we go. We're getting ready. Holly and more with Karolitz and Rogers for the Jacks. Waldorf in the face-off, take it back on their own end. The Jacks are able to knock it free, come away with it. Quick shot by Lindstedt goes just wide of the net. Goes right back to Karolitz. Has it. Quick shot out in front. Holly, excuse me. Quick shot wide over the top of the net. You know, if the Jacks are there, just be able to get the rebound. Redfern's flopping around in the net, leaving a wide open sections of the net, just wide open. And here they come. And Waldorf's going to get it deep. Jackrabbits are going to tag up. Here's Karolitz, bounces off the board for Lindstedt. Skates it into the offensive zone. Flips it back over to Owen Schneider. Tried to make a shot, blocked by the sticks. Another shot by Jacob Colley. This is wide of the net. And here's John. He gets it back there for Schneider. Schneider up. Turns it around. Left circle. Tried to make a pass, blocked. Backwards pass. Tried to get it over to Anderson. Could not connect. Kept in by 28. Makes it back into Schneider. Quick shot by Worth. Goes right into the glove of Redfern. And we'll get a stoppage. And Worth to take the face-off here against number 12 for St. Thomas. Jack from the face-off. Here's Seaver. He hits it up to Schneider. Quick shot by Worth. Gets kicked out. Another opportunity, and they score! Tell you what, Redfern's been flopping out in front of the net as soon as they get it out, and Jacks are able to capitalize. Redfern made the first save. I made the second save too, and then Anderson drives it home over the pad as Redfern's laying down. So yeah, Redfern was laying down in his own crease, and Anderson was able just to drive it home. And here's the face-off here for the Jacks. After that face-off, or after that score, here's Vega chasing down some of the Waldorf players. Man over weak, trying to have it stop, and Waldorf's going to send it in on Jensen. He's going to take it out. Great. Shot saved by Jensen.
Number 16, Trent Hansen, assisted by number 88, Owen Schneider, and number 9, Jack Seaver. That's Hansen from Schneider and Seaver.
The assist goals were scored by Owen Schneider and Jack Seaver. Anyway, here the Jacks are in their own zone, or in the offensive zone here. Heavy on the forecheck. And Waldorf's going to pick it up. And unfortunately, it's going to get out to the neutral zone. Seaver's going to have to send it back in. Or Everson, excuse me, sends it back in. And Waldorf's going to send that puck all the way deep, and that'll be an icing. With 17:36 here to go in the first period, or second period, excuse me.
Your trusted partner for all of your home repairs and renovations.
It'll be Worth to take the face-off here against Connor Eklund. Worth wins the face-off, gets over to Schneider. Quick pass over to another shot, and he goes in the back of the net. What a goal! Beat Redfern on the blocker's side. That's 2 for Anderson on the night. Assisted by Owen Schneider. Man, quick into that second period. We're, 2.5 minutes into the second period, scoring 2 goals right off the bat. Looks like it'll be Bush, Merritt, and Stone out there for the Jacks to get this offensive face-off going. Careless is going to pick it up behind his own net. Coughs it up. Another shot on Jensen saved.
Scored by number 16, Trent Hansen. Assisted by number 88, Owen Schneider, and number 25, Dawson Worth.
Dawson Worth got the secondary assist on that.
17-30.
Jacks have another opportunity here out in front. Puck's loose. And that shot goes wide in the net. Here's Bush. Has it. Skids it around. Gets it over to Karelitz. Quick shot. Tipped just away from the net. That one had some promise. And here's Merritt heavily pursuing a Waldorf player. And this looks like it might be a 2-on-1 back the other way for Waldorf. Luckily, Karelitz was there to break it up. Jacks come the other way. Long pass up the ice. Could have just missed when you get picked up by number 10, Ethan Boyd. Turns it over. Here's Bush. Sends it around the boards. Kept in by Max Moore. And fortunately, he turns it right back over to the Waldorf player. But it's going to get sent back in by the Jackrabbits. Bush has it. Backhand for nobody out in front. Long shot. Tipped out front. Loose puck. And number 26 is going to send that in the corner for Waldorf. Jackrabbits have good offensive possession here. Like I said, 28 sends it behind the net for Jacob Colley. Gets it up to Siebert. Skates it around. Back for Colley. Up to John. Quick shot. And it's going to get gloved down by Redfern. Luckily, unfortunately, that's going to give Waldorf an opportunity there for a change. So for the Jacks, it'll be Wega, Lindstad, Wega, Everson, and Strzok. Strzok wins the face-off, or loses the face-off here, excuse me. Waldorf, unable to get it clear though. Quick shot by number 20, John, reduces wide of the net. Here's Wega. Gets it up. Unfortunately, there's a pass just goes out of play. Jacks have to tag back up. Here's Zach Strzok has it kicked out by Redfern. What a save! A quick shot by John. Just misses wide. Here's Wega. Sends it over to Everson, but didn't quite connect. Here's Everson again. Top loose. And looks like Waldorf is going to start with the momentum going the other way. He's going to get out of the neutral zone. It's going to get sent right back in by John. And John and Siebert are going to go for a change. Jackrabbits able to keep it in the offensive zone, not giving Waldorf any space to breathe. Here's Struck skating it around. Sends it just around the net. Everson had an opportunity to pick it up behind the net, but missed. Here's Wega. Wega flips it behind the net again. Unfortunately, Everson went for a change. Van Overbeek out there, quick shot, misses wide of the net. Jackrabbits have another opportunity here. Here's Brink over to Van Overbeek. Got lost between the skates. Gets a pass down to Strzok. Here's Brink right open in the middle. Blocked away by Redfern. Here's Everson behind the Waldorf net. Those Waldorf players have got to start getting tired here. They haven't had an opportunity to change. Puck's loose. Falls down. Here's Anfinson. Anfinson drives. Looking for his hat trick. Third of the game. Blocked down in front. And here comes Waldorf. And they turn it over. Here come the Jacks again. Still in the offensive zone. They haven't had to clear it once. Here's Worth. He has it. Skates it around. Over to Van Overbeek. Pass goes off of the skates. Jack's able to keep it in though. Here's Worth. Flips it up just ahead for Schneider. Unfortunately, there was a Waldorf player right there for it. Waldorf finally gets it back out in the neutral zone. And looks like they're going to go for a change, or try to. And here come the Jacks back the other way. Oh my goodness, what an opportunity there for the Jackrabbits. Waldorf didn't have any fresh bodies. I think they were going on pretty close to 2 minutes without changing. So some of those Waldorf players have got to be tired. Here's Schneider right in the left wing circle. So gets it up to Stone. Down to Worth. Just missed it off the stick. Here's Karelitz. Tried to get it back down to Schneider. Couldn't do it. Schneider, though, pokes it ahead. Gets it over to Anfinson. Anfinson, another quick shot. Almost got the hat trick. It hit Redfern right in the blocker and kind of just died. Unfortunately, there he had a teammate to help him out. Rogers is going to send it in over to Worth. Here's another opportunity here. Here's Karelitz. Quick shot, and that's going to go right into the belly of Redfern. Oh my goodness. A couple of long opportunities here for the Jackrabbits. They're just absolutely backing Waldorf up into their own end. It'll be Merritt, Stone, and Struck out there with Karelitz and Rogers. For Waldorf, it'll be White, Anthony, and Bodoscopy. Jacks win the face-off. Unfortunately, puck's going to score all the way down to the offensive or defensive zone. Unfortunately for Waldorf, this is where they could have used the change, but they just got fresh bodies out there. Oh, here's number 7, quick shot, blocked up high, and hits the netting. Jacks currently out shooting Waldorf 30-11. I mean, tell you what, they've added 11 shots here just in the first 7.5 minutes of this first period, or the second period. They had 19 in the first one. And Waldorf is going to come away with the face-off here. Quick pass, tried to get it over to Parker Anthony over the middle, and so it's going to be 2-on-2 back the other way. Here's Bush and Stone. Bush skates around the defender, and the Redfern's way out of his net, and he lost his stick. Oh my goodness, there would have been an opportunity for Bush to get the pass off. That would have been a wide open goal. Fortunately, could not quite connect. And then be kept in by Sievert. And flip it out to the corner of the boards. Bush is going to pick it up behind the net, but lose it to number 26. That is John Vicroy. Waldorf tries to get it out. Ends up right on the stick of Stone's skates. And Bush gets it back to Stone. Quick shot in the back of the net. Under the blocker. Over the pad. Back of the net. That is a goal for Stone. That's the 4th goal given up by Zane Redfern. Oh my goodness. That's 3 goals here in the second period for the Jacks. And Waldorf wins the face-off. Gets over to John. John flips up the ice for more. He's going to skate it in. Quick shot, block it down in front, left, a juicy rebound. Unfortunately, the Jacks weren't there to get it. And here's number 20, flips it in. That's basically what we did with.
Stone, assisted by number 20, Ethan Bush. And Stone from Bush. Time to go, 11:42.
And here's Collie, walks it into his own zone. Quick shot, and that's going to go off the netting. Assisted on that Stone goal was Ethan Bush. So, and looks like it'll be the starting line out there for the Jacks. Collie wins the face-off, skates it around behind the net, gets taken down. Unfortunately, the puck is underneath him, and a guy from Waldorf, I can't quite see the number. This purple and black is kind of hard to see even with the white outline. Quick shot, tipped off the bar, off the post. What an opportunity to get 4 in the second. Luckily, the puck gets all the way back out in the Jackrabbit zone, and Brink has to tag up, tried to make a pass, goes off the glass. Unfortunately, it picked up. What a shot by Max Moore, lays the body. Unfortunately, it's a breakaway opportunity here for Waldorf, but they were able to defend that quite well. And here come the Jacks, bounces it off the skate of Jacob Collie. And here's David Brink, heavily pursuing Blake Rades. Here's 15, Vincent Hunt. Vincent had it, coughed it up to Everson. Everson skates it up. Gets over to Wega. Wega has an opportunity here. Quick shot. Blocked by a couple of Waldorf players out in front. Goes off the glass. They get it out of the neutral zone. Here's Rogers. Goes back to the neutral zone where it's being sent back in by Waldorf. Carolitz, first person to it. They're slaying it up the ice. Try to get it to Struck. He had it, but lost it. What an opportunity there. Could have been a breakout. Just couldn't quite keep it on his stick. Wega flips it up. Going to get picked up by Struck. Struck skates it around. Might have gotten hooked there. No call. Puck loose. Waldorf tries to get the clear. Can't do it. Kept in by Everson. Everson gets it out to Rogers. Tried to make a pass in. Couldn't do so. Here's Karelitz. Flips it ahead for Everson. Drops it for Struck. Struck, oh my goodness, walked it in and lost it off of his stick. Here's Rogers flipping it back in, going on the double chase. Looks like a couple of Jacks are going to get off for a quick change. Schneider's pursuing Waldorf behind the net. They're going to flip it up along the boards. Going to get kept in by Karelitz. And he's going to go for a change. But the puck all in front. Worth had an opportunity just to flop it right in. Couldn't quite do it. And there's a whistle for the net being off. Man, I tell you what, these refs are certainly killing our momentum by blowing the whistle dead. I mean, yeah, I get it, the puck's off, or net's off, but not enough that you have to blow the whistle, especially when the Jacks are on the offensive zone, you know. Looks like it'll be Muscovy, Anthony, and Tracy White for the forward group for Waldorf. On the way out there. Oh, here the Jacks win the face-off here. Here's Worth skating it around. Had it, got it knocked off his stick by number 23, Ethan Mason Wave. Waldorf kind of stuck here in their own zone. They finally get it out to the neutral zone. Here's Siebert. Gets it over to number John, but goes off of his skate. Unfortunately, nobody can really hang on to it. Puck's kind of bouncing. Here's Worth. Flips it up to Schneider, and they're going to call that offsides? I don't agree with that call. Must have been pretty close, but I guess I can't complain much. Up 4-0 here with 8:07 left to go here in the second period. Worth loses the face-off, but puck is still kind of free, and nobody really has it. It's loose between a couple of different guys, between Tracy White and one of the Jacks. Waldorf kind of has possession of it. They walk it in. Skated around, loose out in front. Ethan Jensen makes a couple of saves, and now he's trying to get the cover, and he does. That was probably Waldorf's most dangerous opportunity there, and it kind of just ended up right on top of, or right under his pad. He just kind of laid on it because, I mean, what else can you do? Didn't quite give him an opportunity to do anything with it, so. Here's face off. Here's Jack Merritt. Loses face off. Waldorf keeps it in, flips it around. Out in front. What a kick save by Egan Jensen. Man, that was athletic. Waldorf skated it behind the net and got a quick shot off, and he just flopped his leg out there, making a just kick save. What a beauty. Pushing off the post, though. He pushed the post off, so he got a whistle. Stone walks it into the offensive zone. Quick, tried to make it. Oh, and they got it! Quick pass in the slot. Goes from Stone to Van Overbeek, and he drops it home. You know, that seems like a Chell 21 type play. Just quick, easy shot, pass, goal. That's 4 goals in the second period. What did I tell you about the second being a long change? Waldorf wins the faceoff, takes it in their own zone, but they turn it right back over. Here come the Jacks. Lindstad has it. Flips it back to Rogers. Quick shot, kicked up high, and unfortunately that one's going to make it all the way back out to the neutral zone. I don't buy that. I think they're giving the assists to the wrong people there on the PA system. Yeah, oh no, other opportunity, he's wide out in front. If Lindstad would have just walked in, he could have gotten the 5th goal of the period. Fortunately, he went back to go play defense, which is probably pretty smart. That would have been a pretty wide open breakaway there for Waldorf. Here's Colley, going to flip it in, a little dump and chase. Was not happy with something that number 14 Waldorf did. So I gave him a little check at the rim there. Here comes Waldorf back the other way. And John Vickroy's going to dump it in. Picked up by Garrett Everson. Dropped off for Strzok. Poked kind of off his stick right over to the guy from Waldorf. Here's Karelitz. Over to Rogers. Bounces it up ahead for Strzok. Couldn't connect. Puck loose. They're just playing around in the offensive neutral zone. Here's Everson, brings it in. Tried to make a pass up the Strzok. It's broken out by Ethan Boyd. That's off the wall. And Everson, or not Everson, excuse me, Sievert keeps it in for the Jacks. Here's John, has it. Flips it towards the net, gets tipped a couple of times, and stays out. Here's Sievert and John down off the boards. John broke his stick and he's got to go for a change. Here's Sievert, flips it ahead around the boards. First gets picked up by Ethan Boyd, skates it ahead for Waldorf. Brings it into the offensive zone here, looking for anything, something to get their momentum going. Eventually gets pushed off the thing, the puck. Quick shot sticked out by Jensen, and that'll be a whistle. 4:51 here to go in this second period. Jacks currently lead 5-0, and they're out shooting Waldorf 37-14. And Connor Eklund takes the face off of Waldorf, and they win it. Quick backhanded opportunity there for Stephen Skopoulos. Doesn't quite get to Jensen. Jacks trying to get the clear, unable to do so. Puck is loose. Worth flips around the boards for Schneider. His pass gets broken up, luckily. Right back on the stick, gets up to Anfinson. Throws it ahead for Worth. He missed it. He was going to go for it. Couldn't quite get it. Here's Worth. Skates it around the left wing circle. Gets over man over weak. Flips it ahead. Schneider. Tried to go for a sharp angle. Gets shoved down. Loses the puck. And looks like Waldorf has it. And they're going to get cleared all the way down. Right, luckily, onto the net. So no icing gets called. Man over weak. Back to Brink. Here they come. Gets it up ahead, gets it to Anfinson. Can Anfinson get his hattie? Flips it ahead, and he gets taken down after kind of getting a weak backhand on the play, and Redfern will cover. I keep getting all excited there. The second and third goals of the game and the first two of the period were scored by Trent Anfinson, so he's on hat trick watch. It'll be Jack Merritt take the face-off here against Parker Anthony, and he wins it. Here's Bush, flips it backwards to Careless. Quick shot right off the stick of Redfern and to the glass. Merritt behind the net, skates it around, drops it off for Stone. Can't connect. Tried to make a pass out in front for Bush, broken up on the play. And here comes Vincent Hunt for Waldorf. Skates around. Tried to make a sharp angle, got broken up by Stone. And kept in by Waldorf, barely. Will bounce off the boards. Scoot behind the Jackrabbit net, flips it backwards. And Jacks get it out to the neutral zone. Bush thought he had it, lost it. Merritt's going to send it in right around the boards. In the offensive zone. And here's Radis for Waldorf. Flipping up along the boards. It's going to get kept in by Thomas Rogers. Unfortunately, his next pass is going to get sent off by the Waldorf. A couple players looked for an icing there, but didn't quite get the call. And the Jacks are going to get puck back out to the neutral zone. Going to get quickly picked up by Jake McCauley. Skates around, right circle, quick sharp angle. Bounce off of Redfern. Jacks still have it. Lindstadt flips it backwards right into the hand of Moore. And the puck is right along the boards. Actually hits the ref's skates. Over to Lindstadt. Here's Siebert. Quick shot. Tried to get the tip in. Unfortunately hit Colley's stick right square in the shaft. So they have to retreat back into their own end. Siebert flips it up ahead to Lindstadt. He's going to send it in. Lindstadt's not happy about the stick. Or about the shove, but he got behind the play. But Redfern's going to cover. So we're going to have another offensive zone face-off here for the Jackrabbits with 1:54 here to play. Looks like Struck has some words for number 23, Ethan Basic-Webe. Who do you trust more, some guy from Alberta or a hometown Brookings boy? I got my money on the Brookings boy. And Struck wins the face-off here, fortunately. Oh, and he comes away with it. Here's an opportunity here. Here's Everson loose out in front. Nobody really had control of it. Jacks keep it in though. Here's Everson again. Tried to make a pass over to Wega. Couldn't hang on to it. Comes away with it though. Gets it up to Brink. Skates it in. Quick shot. And that's going to get gloved by Redfern. Face-off draw here, won by Connor Eklund for Waldorf, but they turn it over to the neutral zone and Jacks send it back in. Zach Lloyd tips it into the neutral zone. It's going to pick up by Brink. KC Hook lost an edge and couldn't quite hang on to it as he skated in, so just threw it in. Here come the Jacks. Here's Cooper Van Overbeek. Flips it ahead. Gets into the neutral zone. And Waldorf's going to tip it in. Gets picked up by I think Brink tried to pass it around the edge. He lost his stick on the play somehow. And here's a quick shot saved by Redfern. Kind of confused there. I lost. Brink had it. I don't know if he tried to go for a pass or got slashed out of his hands or what the hell happened there. But yeah, it ended up high in the air. Alrighty, Worth to take the face-off here against Parker Anthony. 40.5 here to go in this second period. Yeah, see 5-0. Worth loses the face-off to Anthony, and Waldorf's here in their own end. And it looks like they're going to send it all the way in. Might be an icing. Oh, it gets waved off. Must have gotten some contact on it. Opportunity for Waldorf here. Pass out in front. Couldn't quite connect. And here come the Jacks back the other way. The Jacks have to throw it back in, otherwise it'll be an offside. Here comes Waldorf. Something loose there. Whoa, my goodness. There was quite the contact there. Careless about broke his neck into the boards there. I think it was just some incidental contact, so nothing to worry about. And that'll be the end of the second period. Jacks score 4. Jacks are now up 5-0. They are out shooting Waldorf 43-16.
Jackrabbit Hockey would like to thank Mountains Construction, Hometown Service and Tire, and Plumbing.
I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Hometown Tire and Service, your hometown choice for trusted quality auto care. Give them a call for any tire needs. Rounds Construction, building strong foundations on and off the ice. Kenner Plumbing, fast, reliable service when things get backed up. Handy Matt's Home Services, for any handyman needs. And then Wooden Leg for their working rear garden, and just sponsored Jackrabbit Hockey in general. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors here tonight for supporting Jackrabbit Hockey. Without the help of them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We wouldn't be able to have this production be possible.
There will also be a silent auction for a select amount of game-worn jerseys as well. Again, Wednesday, February 11th at 7:30. Grab a friend. Come out to the Jackrabbit Hockey team.
So quick recap. Again, no penalties here tonight. So no power plays, no penalty kills, which honestly is probably for the best for the Jackrabbits. I mean, you can't give up a shorthanded goal if you don't have a power play. So, to recap, second period scoring. So Trent Anderson just scored. Went blocker side for his first two. His first one was assisted by Schneider and Seaver. His second one was assisted by Schneider and Worth. Those two were pretty close back-to-back to open the scoring. I want to say the first one was out around the 17-minute mark. The second one was around the 15-minute mark. Then Gavin Stone walked it right in, assisted by Ethan Bush. That one. And then the last one was scored by Cooper Van Overbeek, assisted by Gavin Stone. That one looked like Prime Shell 21 had the cross slot pass and ripped it right to the back of the net. So Zach Redfern, the goaltender for Waldorf, was giving up 5 goals on 43 shots. So I mean, not a 900, but you know what? Considering he's faced 43 shots, should tell you something. Waldorf has 0 goals on 16 shots. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of what Leon Draisaitl was saying. Somebody was asking about Tristan Jarry, and you know, he was all ticked off about that, saying that he needs to make the saves. Well, if you take a look at what's going on there, I mean, you had 2 goaltenders, both of them are struggling with shots on, or like giving up goals. You know, if it was just the 2 of them, or if it was just the one, you'd be like, all right, yeah, maybe it is a goaltender problem. But when it's been multiple goalies and the core has stayed relatively the same, maybe that should actually create some defense issue. So, not necessarily all Redfern's fault, but he did get kind of floppy towards the second and third, or the third and fourth goals of the period. That'll be it for the second period recap. We'll be back to start the third period here in just a couple of minutes. back. There's 2:48 before the start of the third and final period of the evening. Jacks currently lead 5-0, and they're out-shooting Waldorf 43-16. A couple of notes. Worth has 2 assists in the night. Anfinson has 3. 2 of them are goals. So he's on hat trick watch here tonight. Looks like they're going to leave Redfern in for this Waldorf to start the third, despite giving up 5. But again, he has seen 43 shots, so I mean, it's not entirely his fault. And then Schneider has 2 points. Stone has 2 points. So, quite a few players with having a multi-point game here tonight. So far, it's been a pretty clean game. No special teams units out there on the ice. That second period really hurt for Waldorf, giving up 4 goals. But it's been really clean and really quick. The game started at 7 o'clock, and wouldn't you know it, it's only 8:30 and just starting the third, so that's quite the thing. So we got ourselves the third period. I'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Hometown Tire and Service, Kenner Employment, Grounds Construction, Handyman's Home Services, and Wooden Legs for sponsoring Jack Rabbit Club Hockey. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here tonight. It'll be Colley, Moore, and Lindstadt with Rank and Rogers. For Waldorf, it's Rannes, Mason Vinave, and Vincent Hunt, with Casey Hook and John McRoy. Getting kind of chippy. Quick whistle here with 14 seconds in. Lindstadt to take the face off here against Mr. Lynn. Jackson the face off. Here's Colley. Gets it up to Moore. Puck pass back to Colley. Almost had a breakaway. Got pushed off by Redfern. What an opportunity there. Holy cow. Waldorf unable to clear. Careless keeps it in. Until Careless turns it right back over. And there's going to be a penalty called for a trip. A hook, actually. First penalty of the game here at 19:27 here in the third period. The penalty kills tonight brought to you by Grounds Construction, building strong foundations on and off the ice. Give them a call at 605-693-4000. They're going to send Ethan Bush to the box for tripping, or hooking, excuse me. Ethan Mason Wade is not happy about something. Jack Rabbit's penalty kills going to be Owen Schneider, David Brink, Cooper Van Evermeek, and Jack Merritt. Merritt has it. He's going to flip it in. Building strong foundations on and off the ice. And here's Anthony. Tries to make a pass. Oh, Schneider, though, about intercepted. Oh, here's Jack Merritt. Brings it into his offensive zone here, looking for the shorty opportunity. Quick shot, misses high and wide of the net. And we got Keaton Rasmussen skating it around. Makes a pass over to Vincent Hunt. Gets it knocked off of his stick by Owen Schneider. Thought about chasing it down, but did not. And Vincent Hunt going to skate, bring it up, across the center ice. Gets pursued by knocked off the puck by Riley Lindstadt, who gets back out to the neutral zone. Here's Rasmussen, skating it around. Flips up the ice for Parker Anthony. Anthony is going to cross center ice and dump it in. First person to it is Tony Romani. Oh my goodness. Here's number 12 took down Lindstad behind the play, but no whistle was called. Could have been an interference, but no call. 35 seconds left here to go in this penalty kill for the Jacks. And there's an icing called on Waldorf. Ethan Mason-Wave cannot believe it. He thought he got a piece of it, but he did not. I guess that goes to show, just because he bought a $500 stick Bauer Pulse doesn't mean he's actually good at hockey. Who could have guessed? All right, and Merritt was the face-off for the Jacks. One of the very few they have one here tonight. Sievert dumps it into the corner. Merritt almost got to it, but shoved it in the boards by Connor Eklund. And here comes Waldorf back to the wave. Blake Radis has it, skates it in, tries to make a pass broken up by Jack Merritt and gets it cleared back into the neutral zone. Waldorf turns it over in their own end. Jacob Colley had it, almost had an opportunity to drive it in and score, but did not do it. The power play is over. Jack up his full strength. They are 1 for 1 on PK here tonight. Jacks bring it in. Quick shot, wide, and into the netting. I guess I just must not be that observant, but I could have sworn the netting was white, or was black for the first couple games of the season. However, it is now white. So either I'm just not observant, or they changed the netting. Yeah, I'm probably just not observant. Jack Evans. The faceoff's kind of a scrum. Anthony ended up on the ground right on top of the puck. Couldn't really do much about it. Worth almost had the puck in the corner. The puck got loose. Here's Worth. Quick shot on Redfern. Made the save. Here's Anfinson. Had it, lost it. Waldorf picks it up in the corner. Kept in by John. Sends it ahead around the boards. First person to it's Anfinson. And unfortunately, he didn't really have it for long. Anthony got it for Waldorf. Gets pushed off the puck by Anfinson. Worth skates from behind his own net to start the breakout. Brings it into the offensive zone. Gets knocked off the puck, though. First person back to it, though, is him. Quick pass over to the slot. What a blocker save by Redfern. Anfinson looking for his hat trick. Could not get it past Redfern that time. Here's another opportunity here. Here's Schneider. Quick towards the front of the net. Got blocked by a Waldorf player. Backhand. Look, shot off the post for Dawson Worth. Looking for his first of the night. Here's Schneider. Skates it around. Gets it up to Rogers. Back to Schneider. Over to Worth. Skate. Puck handle. Quick long pass over to Anfinson. Quick pass over through the middle. Quick shot. Worth off the shoulder pads of Redfern. And Waldorf finally gets the puck cleared. 15:25 here to go. Jacks leading 5-0. Just got done on the penalty kill. And looks like they're going to start the rush again. And unfortunately, first person to that one is going to be Keaton Rasmussen. Turns the puck over. Here's the Jacks. Drops it off for Struck. And he scores! Redfern must be quite weak on his blocker side. That's the fourth one I think he's given up on his blocker side. He's pretty professional with the glove, but can't seem to use his blocker much. So, Struck with the goal. Neat thing about Zach Struck, he's actually the Brookings Rangers Bantam A coach with teammate Owen Schneider, which is probably why they have such good chemistry there. Teaching on them, all those Bantam boys, how to play. And Waldorf wins the face-off. Here's Rasmussen.
With 15:07 remaining in the third period,
gets it in.
Jack Everett goal scored by number 21, Zach Struck. Assisted by number 2, Sean Reiga, and number 7, Eric Everson. That Struck from Reiga and Everson.
puck's going to get covered. There's a slew foot behind the play. The whistle wasn't whistly enough. Struck's got to readjust his elbow pads. Neat thing about Zach Struck is he's actually been a sub on my beer league team couple weeks this season. This is my first season playing beer league, and having him as a sub is pretty handy to have. Buddy can just skate past all of the other old guys and just score at will, which is pretty nice. Just had to give a shout out to my old beer league squad. I shouldn't say old, we're still mid-season. Anyway, Waldorf wins the face-off. Tipped in by David Brink. Gets it ahead. Bush. Oh, just had it, lost it. Oh, and the bucket's out in the neutral zone. Brink's right there. Pass over to Van Overbeek. Turns it over, but almost offsides. So Waldorf had to tag back up, so they just left it there. Quick stretch feed over to Bush. Has it along the boards. Lost it, and Waldorf's going to send it in. First person to it, though, is going to be Jack Sievert, getting heavily pursued by Vincent Hunt. Sievert finally gets it free, skates it ahead, crosses the center ice. Bush had it and then lost it right along his stick. Luckily, Sievert's right back there to pick it up. And here's John. Pass broken up in the play. Here's Steven Monogopoulos. I must go Polos. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. That's a mouthful. Here comes Jack's back the other way. It's Merritt. He's skating it in all alone. Might just try to get a... Almost had an opportunity there, but knocked off his stick. Waldorf's going to get it the other way. John gets it back to Rogers. Up to Lindstadt. Flips it up ahead. Redfern's going to stop it with his stick and then cover. I think Buddy was concerned about giving up another goal, but in any case, 12:53 here to go in the third period. Jacks leading now 6-0. Shots on goal are 49 for the Jacks and 17 for Waldorf. And face off here, won by the Jackrabbits, but Waldorf comes away with it. Here's more. Tries to make a backhand, broken up, and to get it back out to the neutral zone. Jacob Crowley has it, quick shot, block it away. Going for the blocker side, can't go wrong with that. Unfortunately, that was one of the few times Redfern's been able to stop that. I guess I shouldn't say one of the few. I think he's made quite a few saves. I mean, he's had 50 shots against. He's stopped 44 of them, so I can't say they've all been glove side outside of those maybe 6. So I guess had himself a halfway decent game. Here's Anderson looking for his hat trick goal. He's driving it in. Got tip or made the pass back to Owen Schneider. Got the goal over the right pad, blocker side. So that is a Schneider goal by Infinson. So Redfern is now getting up 7 on 51. So talking about the announcer curse or announcer jinx right there for that. Jack's now up 7-0. So football score now. Scored a touchdown. And Schneider's going to flip it in. Picked up by, and this will be an icing.
Schneider, assisted by number 16, Trent Edmondson, and number 18, Preston Carolus. That's Schneider.
So Edmondson now actually has a 4-point game. Waldorf wins the faceoff, quickly turns it over. Here's Dawson Worth. Quick pass out in front. Loose, still loose. And Waldorf's finally going to get it back out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Van Overbeek. Gets it over to Brink, over to Worth. Coughs it up right to the stick of Paul Cole. Eventually Cole actually coughs it right back up to Anfinson. Worth sends it in for Anfinson right out in front. Couldn't hang on to it though. And Anfinson's going to get back outside. Worth's going to drive it in. And he loses it just behind the net. And here comes Waldorf back the other way. It's going to be number 10 bringing it in. It's going to get sticked out by Jensen. He's got to be getting bored back in there. He's seen 17 shots in essentially 50 minutes of playing. Jacks finally get possession of it. Into the neutral zone, trying to make a quick pass. Gets broken up. There's a pass from Paul Cole up to Mason Villanueva, and they just did not communicate and didn't come away with it. Here come the Jack. Here's Everson. Flips it up for Wega. Unfortunately, struck was offsides. So it'll be a neutral zone face-off with 10:31 here to go in the third period. Jacks leading 7-0. I just noticed John is not wearing socks underneath his skates, or if he is, they are like low, like ankle socks or something. I just happened to notice that. That's crazy. I can't wear my skates without having long socks. But more power to him. In any case, Jacks have the puck here. River on the boards. Here's Sievert. Pass back to John. Walks it ahead. Skates past a couple of Waldorf players. Tries to make a pass, but it's pulled off the stick by Vincent Hunt. Vincent Hunt leads the rush the other way. Gets it knocked off the stick by Sievert. Hunt tries to get it back out in the middle for one of his teammates. Nobody's there, though. Here's Everson. Skates it in. Drops it off for Wega. Shot blocked away by Redfern. Ends up on the stick of Strzok. Unfortunately, he shoves Ethan Mason away from it. And kept Jacks able to keep the puck in. Everson back to try to get it to Wega, but Wega was just a bit farther ahead. Rogers takes a shot behind the play from Blake Radis. And here's Karolitz. Kind of slides it ahead. Tried to get it away. Couldn't do it. Puck behind the net. It's picked up by John Vicroy. Radis flips it ahead. Nobody's there for it. So Karolitz is going to start from his own end. Gets to Merritt. Tipped. Unfortunately, he's going to end up on the stick of Keaton Rasmussen. Quickly turns it over. There should be a trip, but there's going to be no call on that. All right. And Rogers looking to start from behind his own net. Going to get pursued by Parker Anthony. Coughs it up for a second. Luckily, Karolitz is there to clean it up. Jack's starting to get kind of sloppy here in this third period. I know there's a 7-goal lead, but that's no excuse. Jacks have it in, able to keep it in. Here's Bush. Had it, lost it. Puck is high and in the air. Yep, and gets out in the neutral zone, so the Jacks have to tag up. And here's Anthony. Skates it in, tries to get a shot on the net, couldn't do so. Bounces off the back. Puck loose. What a shot block by Jack Merritt. Shot's going to get blocked and end up all the way back in the offensive zone for the Jacks. No icing was called. Moore skates it in, knocks Waldorf off the puck, sends it right back in. And Martin Tupper tries to get it free. Moore's coming for blood. He just keeps laying the body. He's got a fire under his butt. Brink has it, gets it to Colley. Kind of sends it slowly behind the net. Fortunately, nobody's there. Here's Colley out in front. Quick shot right into the belly of Redfern. And they're going to go for... looks like Ethan Boyd is not happy with Max Moore's antics of blowing people up, or trying to blow people up. And as assistant captain, or associate captain, I would be not super thrilled with that either. But getting underneath their skin. Lindstedt loses the face-off. Rasmussen tries to get it clear, and it's going to hit the netting. Karolitz loses the face-off again to Connor Eklund. Luckily, the Jacks, heavy on the forecheck, come away with it. Colley's grabbing his neck like he got high stuck. In any case, he's still in the game. He's still playing. Maybe he's trying to sell it, trying to get a PP. Lindstedt tried to get a pass up. Shot blocked. Here's Colley. Back to Lindstedt. Up to Brink, and there's a whistle. And they're going to send Keaton Rasmussen to the box, shoving Jacob Colley's head into the ice for, they're giving a 4-minute. 4-minute major for roughing. Nope, they're sending them both to the box. So they're going to send Jacob Colley and Keaton Rasmussen to the box for roughing, I believe. So it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 4 minutes? Or no, probably 2 minutes. Sorry, dumb. Ref kept flipping 4, but meaning 4-on-4. So it'll be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. 6:54 here to go in the third period. Jackson with the face-off. Here's Worth. And here comes Waldorf back the other way. It's Parker Anthony who skates it in. Quick shot high and wide of the net. And puck loose on the side of the net. Anthony trying to walk it in. Here's Siebert. He gets it back to John. Tried to get it cleared, couldn't do it. Ends up Anthony's stick. Skates it around. He's still skating. That's offside. Number 8 for Waldorf couldn't get it onside. Jackrabbits struggling to get it out of their own end. Finally do so. But unfortunately, Waldorf still has it. Let's see here. Boyd to Hook. Hook, he sent it in on net, and he gets sticked away by Jensen. Kept in by Vincent Hunt. Skates around, gets it knocked off his stick by Dawson Worth. Over to Siebert. Siebert's going to flip it up, try to get it to Anfinson. Unfortunately, could not quite connect. Here's Rogers, takes a shot from behind here, but hangs onto it. Worth tried to poke it ahead to Anfinson, does so. Anfinson skating around, looking for his hat trick. Here he comes, walks it in. Tries to skate it around, goes off the skate of number 26, John Vicroy. Puck ends up behind the Waldorf net. And Hook's going to send it back to Vicroy, and they're going to just flip it up. Carelitz picks it up on his own end. Skates behind the Jackrabbit net. 14 here to go in this 4-on-4. Here's Carelitz. Skates it up the ice. Drops it off for Struck. Struck spins around, has it. Walks in, out in front, opportunity there for Preston Carelitz, but Struck's pass was just behind. And the power play is over. Struck storming in. He tried to get it on the stick of Jacob Colley. Unfortunately, just missed it. And looking for the icing, and icing's getting waved off. Keaton Rasmussen beat him to it. Here's Struck across the center ice, walks it in. Flips it up, tried to get it to Wega, couldn't do it. Brink keeps it in for the Jacks. 4:25 here to go in the third. Puck's still kind of loose, and Rasmussen is going to get it cleared over to Brink. Gets Devane over Beacon in his own end. Back to Brink. Lindstedt over to Colley. Colley skates it in, gets taken down. Oh my goodness. Well, that's another edge. Here's Colley again. And keeps spinning around like he doesn't know where the puck is. Number 5, Zach Lloyd tried to get a shot in on the net, couldn't do so. And here's Van Overbeek. Gets it over to Lindstedt. Skates around a couple of Waldorf players before losing it. Lindstedt's got his hand at his side. He might be hurt. I don't know if it's a stinger or not, but in any case, Brink has it. Going to skate below the goal line, flip it over to Van Overbeek. Send it up the ice for Colley. Flips it backwards for Wega. Back to Colley. Cross center ice in the offensive zone. Right circle. Try to get it through the middle for Wega. This is just wide. And Waldorf gets it back out of the neutral zone, right to Sievert. Puck's loose, don't realize possession. Here's Bush. It's a 3-on-2. Bush shot, misses wide of the net. Rogers unable to keep it in. The Crickets. Jackson Park was trying to mug Thomas Rogers, but was not successful. There's a loose puck kind of out in front. Puck kind of bounced to a couple of crazy places. Couldn't quite see where it went there for a sec. Bush below the Waldorf goal line. Tries to flip it backwards for Jack Merritt. Couldn't connect. And Waldorf's going to get it back out into the neutral zone. So Sievert. Sievert's going to flip it in. It's going to bounce into the netting of behind the goal line. And they're going to get the whistle.
Just a reminder, hockey fans, both teams will be back in action.
2:11 left to go here in the third period. Jacks leading 7-0.
And on Wednesday, February 11th, Jackson will host the North Dakota State University at 7:30 p.m.
Jackrabbits win the face-off. Max Moore went into the corner and about laid on the puck, hitting one of the Waldorf players in the process. Quick shot by Karolitz, misses wide of the net. Here's Moore. Backwards, almost. Anfinson had his hat trick, could not get a stick on it. Waldorf's going to send it back into the neutral zone. Poor Egan Jensen in net. He's probably falling asleep. Can't blame him, though. Here's Anfinson. Flips it up to Struck. Struck, shot, missed wide. Brink keeps it in. Sends it back down to Struck. Skates it around. Drops it back for Moore. Had it, lost it. Back to Brink. Over to Karolitz. Down to Struck. Karolitz. Shot on net. Blocked. What a save by Redfern. I didn't think he had that one. Here's Struck. Keeping it in for the Jacks. And that's going to be a puck out of play. The guy in the stands almost caught the puck. Unfortunately, he did not. And he tosses it back onto the ice for the 1:13 here to go in the third. It's going to be Merritt, Wega, and Worth with Vanderbeek and Sievert for the Jacks. For Waldorf, it'll be Stephen Mogsalopoulos, Parker Anthony, and Trayson White with Hook and Vicroy.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
And the offsides for Waldorf. 57.4 here to go. Merritt takes face off. Merritt needs to face off. Worth picks it up. Drops it off for Sievert. Tried quick shot. I shouldn't say quick shot. I think he faked the shot. Had me screwed. I didn't see it. Wega, an opportunity there. Bounced up in the air. Everybody lost a quick shot by Dawson Worth. Gets gloved by Redford. 43 here to go in the third period. Jacks leading 7-0. This time, Schneider takes the face off here, loses it, and Waldorf's gonna try. Well, Waldorf on a heavy forecheck from the Jacks, finally gonna get it back out of the neutral zone. Here they come. Quick shot, blockered out by Jensen, and here comes Brink. He had it on a stick and lost it. He set it in, and that'll be an icing.
Icing is brought to you by Handyman Services, your trusted partner.
Offensive zone draw with 16.5 to go here in the third period. Schneider. Face off, and there's a whistle. Must have said he was too early. This time, Schneider loses again. Puck is high in the air and hits the netting. I lost right on the face-off. Must ended up behind the netting and where the Zamboni comes. 9.2 here to go in the third. Honestly, I think this last minute's probably taking longer than the whole third period. Schneider is 0 for 3 on face-offs here in this last couple of minutes. And that's the end of the game. Jacks wins 7-0. They outshoot Waldorf 58-19. And that is a shutout by Egan Jensen. It's his first start as a Jack and his first shutout too. He had 0 goals on 19 saves. What a start for Egan Jensen in his Jackrabbit career. So, like I said, Jackrabbits win 7-0. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors. Hometown Tire and Service, your hometown choice for trusted quality auto care. Give them a call at 605-697-6889 for any of your tire needs. Grounds Construction, build strong foundations on and off the ice. Give them a call at 605-693-4000. Kenner Plumbing for fast, reliable service for when things get backed up. And when things get backed up, sounds like the Waldorf defense. That's pretty crazy. They didn't have a whole lot of opportunities there and kind of hung poor Redfern out to dry. So, and then Handyman's Home Services. Give them a call for any handyman needs at 605-690-6194. And the Wooden Leg for running the beer garden and sponsoring Jackrabbit Hockey. We couldn't do it without their support, and without their support, we probably wouldn't be able to do this. So, we'd like to give a thanks to all of our sponsors. And so, scoring for the game, we had first period was Garrett Everson scoring, assisted by Dawson Worth and Trent Anfinson. Second period scoring was Anfinson, assisted by Schneider and Seaver. His next goal was also assisted by Schneider and Worth. Third goal of the second period and fourth goal overall was scored by Stone and Ethan Bush. Fourth goal was scored by Cooper Van Overbeek and Gavin Stone. Third period, we opened up the period with a power play, or with a penalty kill. They played 4-on-4 for roughing between Jacob Colley and number 20 for Waldorf. Then Zach Struck scored. Assisted by John and Everson. Owen Schneider then scored the final nail in the coffin, scored the 7th. Assisted by Trent Anfinson and Preston Carlett. So Anfinson had himself one heck of a game. He had 4 points, 2 assists, and 2 goals. Schneider had himself a 3-point game. That's pretty good for him. And then Struck had himself... I guess no, he didn't have any other assists, did he? But yeah, no, quite a few players with multiple point games, so obviously that's kind of really what we like to see. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the second game between South Dakota State and Waldorf. Tonight, the Jackrabbits now improved to 12-6 on the season. And